Hi, Colin here from digitalprint.ie. Just a short video in order to explain how to use setting up layers in Adobe Illustrator to cover how we would print on a V1000, V2000 or V7000 from EPSON. So in Illustrator, we're just going to open up our layers tab. So we can see we have one layer, only one element on it at the moment, and it's color. I'm just going to print a block of CMYK green, doesn't really make a difference. So at the moment, if I select this, you can see up in the top left hand corner here, I've got a solid fill and I've got the ability to put a stroke on. So if I gave it a stroke color, then I can increase the size of my stroke and control that as per normal Illustrator stuff. So I'm going to leave my stroke off. First thing I need to do then, in order to create the layers and the ability to use this property, will be go to my attributes. If you can't find attributes there, up in the top of your menu you'd have window, and down here you can open up your attributes by here. So attributes. So when I select what's on my layer, it gives me the ability to turn on overprinting attributes for either my fill or my stroke. So depending on what you have up here, whether you've got a fill or a stroke, you need to enable the relevant attributes to be enabled for overprinting in Illustrator. Once I've got that much done, I can continue now in concentrating on my elements that I want to create. So this is going to be either a varnish layer or a white layer. So if I go into my layers tab, I can make a duplicate of this layer. So I want to create a white layer here now. So you can actually call this layer whatever you want, but I'm going to call it white for ease of use. So next I want to do that again. So I'm going to create a new layer now, and this is going to be varnish. And again, you can call this pretty much anything you like. It doesn't really make a difference to the job. So in my color job, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to lock it so as I don't make any changes to this layer. I'm going to turn my varnish layer off, and again, I'm just going to lock it to make sure I don't make any changes to this layer. So in my swatches now, if I open my swatches layer, in here I have spot colors already created. So if I double click on this color, you can see that it's called white and it's a spot color, and I've given it CMYK references. Again, the actual color doesn't make a difference to the output of the job. It's just for visual purposes on screen. If I'm using EPSON Edge print, I'm going to call it white, WHITE, with a capital W at the start. If I'm using Onyx, it'll be SPOT, the number 1 with no spaces, and again it's a capital S. But as we're using this for EPSON Edge print, WHITE. Okay. And then for the varnish, varnish is done exactly the same way. It's a spot color with a CMYK reference with a capital VARNISH, no spaces. If I'm doing in Onyx, it'll be SPOT and the number 2 with no spaces. So I'm going to go back because again, this is a job for EPSON Edge, VARNISH. So now I've got my 2 spot colors set and ready to go. So at the moment I'm working on so if I go back to my layers, I'm working on my white layer at the moment. So if I select this color and I come back to my swatches, I'm going to call it that color. So again, I'm going to go back to my layers now, and I'm going to lock that layer, turn this layer off, turn on my varnish layer, unlock it. Now in my swatches, I can color this to the varnish color. So select that and color it to varnish. So now I'm pretty much set. If I go to my layers, I can lock that and turn that layer off, turn that on, so that looks good. That's spot 1 or white, spot 2 or varnish, color element. So now I'm going to turn on all my layers, and it doesn't matter that the only thing I can see is my white layer. This is what the overprinting attributes did for you at the start, was enable Illustrator, or the RIP in this case, to see through each layer to enable it to see what layer is next. When we bring this into either Onyx or EPSON Edge print, it's going to enable us to see the white layer, then it'll enable us to see the varnish layer, and then lastly the color job. And when we bring this together on each individual flatbed, it'll all come together. So at this point in time, we're going to go File, Save As. We're going to save it onto my desktop for now, and we're just going to call it layers for V1000, V2000, V7000, and we're going to save it as a PDF, and we go save. In this guy, I've already got it done, so I'm going to replace it and save as a PDF, and that job now is ready for your RIP. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.